Having now discussed a selection of various invoking and banishing rituals, some context to their usage would seem prudent before we proceed with further variations on the greater pentagram. The first thing to notice is that with the exception of the lesser banishing pentagram, which is perfect in itself, none of these rituals exists in a vacuum and are generally speaking used as components in a larger ceremony. Understanding the general outline of one of these ceremonies will be useful in making your own combinations and variations to create ceremonies that are customized to meet your specific needs. As usual, it is normal to begin with a general cleansing of the space, followed by a cleansing of the self, as well as the donning of any holy vestiges and or any other preparation of the ritual space or physical spell components. The ceremony truly begins with an initial subtle changing of the mind to magic time, such as the Kabbalistic cross, followed by a simple banishing such as the LBRP. This is then generally followed by an LBRH if more banishing is required to reach higher levels of holy entities, or an LIRH to invest the invocateur with general magical power and authority to command lower levels of holy entities. The practitioner might then use a greater invoking pentagram or hexagram to invoke elemental or planetary forces, or both in combination to invoke zodiacal forces. At this point, a long-form oration is given to invoke the specific entity that the operator has chosen to work with, calling it by name and or titles, and giving a description of its attributes and appearance, which should continue until the practitioner determines that the entity has been duly invoked. At this point, the demands are made, a sigil is presented or charged, or a symbolic action is performed to describe the will to be enacted or the desired outcome to be achieved. When the business with the spirits has been completed, the ritual is closed with an appropriate banishing, which might be as simple as a less banishing ritual, or as complicated as performing multiple specific banishing rituals, depending on the severity of the situation. However, it is important to note that there are certain instances, such as in the case of charging objects to infuse them with magic power, that a hard banishing, such as the ones we have previously discussed, might be considered undesirable to the operation. It is therefore helpful to have a soft banishing on hand for such occasions where it may seem rude to slam a spiritual door in the face of a spirit who is taking time out of their busy schedule to help you. For this, we present the Liscense to Deportte as an alternative soft banishing for these situations. In giving the Liscense to Deportte in open conversation with a spiritual entity, it may be best to offer said Liscense to Deportte in a more organic fashion, telling them conversationally after your dealings that our business has concluded and it would be wise to leave the area now, as you are no longer bound here, and as I am about to do a banishing ritual, you might not want to be around when that happens. However, for those of you who wish to do things by the book, or are otherwise too formal or uncreative to write your own, I quote at length from the Goetia of Crowley Mothers, "O thou spirit, because thou hast diligently answered unto my demands, and hast been very ready and willing to come at my call, I do here license thee to depart unto thy proper place, without causing harm or danger unto man or beast. Depart then, I say, and be thou very ready to come at my call, being duly exercised and conjured by the sacred rites of magic. I charge thee to withdraw peaceably and quietly, and the peace of God be ever continued between thee and me. Amen.